Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. A local Habitat for Humanity restore is closed to the public after a fire in the building. Our Maggie Hall has aerial video of what the damage looks like today.
As you can see behind me, a chain link barrier prevents anyone from even pulling into the parking lot of Corning's Habitat for Humanity restore after a fire last night forced them to close their doors. Corning Fire Department and Hornby Fire Department responded to the fire that broke out around 6 o'clock last night. The restore sits at 3412 State Route 414 in Corning. Witnesses reported being able to see smoke from the I-86 while the fire was burning. The location not only functions as a secondhand thrift store, but also as a donation center. The restore posted a statement on Facebook saying that while they will be closed until further notice, thankfully no one was injured and no one was in the building at the time of the fire. Clear damage can be seen to the front garage door and roof at the restore. From our aerial footage, it is possible to view the internal structural damage. Caution tape has been posted around the entrances, and no donations will be accepted at this time. There is no report on the cause of the fire yet. Big Fox News will bring you any updates in this story. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Corning.
A Market Street sticker store was ordered by the Office of Cannabis Management to close their doors. Masa on Market, an illegally operating marijuana sticker store, now has these signs posted, ordering all illegal activity at the premises to cease. Yesterday, the New York State Cannabis Management Office, along with the Corning Police Department, shut down the business. The business's Facebook page additionally appears to have been deleted. Guthrie Robert Packer has been upgraded to a Level 1 trauma center. The Pennsylvania Trauma Systems Foundation gave the title to the hospital, making it the only Level 1 trauma center in Guthrie Healthcare System. This accreditation means the hospital can take on patients who have experienced the highest levels of trauma. If you live in Pennsylvania, check your Powerball numbers. A $2 million ticket has been sold in the Commonwealth. The Pennsylvania Lottery reported that the ticket was sold at a Walmart. However, no winner has come forward yet. The winner has 1 year to claim their prize. We have a national award-winning mullet in our midst. 7-year-old Ronan Paget from Cayuta is competing to be the national mullet champion. Ronan has advanced to the second round of the USA Mullet Championships, and he wants your vote. Visit mulletchamp.com to vote for Ronan in the kids contest. A long-awaited instant payment system is coming online to help you get your cash fast. The Federal Reserve is launching FedNow, an interbank payment method that allows consumers to send and receive money within seconds. The Fed says the system will help with issues such as individuals being able to instantly receive paychecks and use them same day. The Fed says 35 banks and credit unions, as well as the U.S. Treasury's Bureau of Fiscal Service, have signed up. UPS workers are ready to go on strike if the shipping company doesn't deliver on labor demands. The Teamsters Union is representing the hundreds of thousands of UPS workers, asking for better wages for part-time workers and safety protections. Talks between the company and the union broke down earlier in July, but negotiations are slated to continue next week. The UPS workers' contract is up July 31st, and if a deal isn't struck soon, the workers are planning to strike on August 1st. It's the end of an era that evokes memories of tuxedos, big bands, and smoky jazz joints. Singer Tony Bennett died today at the age of 96. Dan Sheneman takes a look back at the man and his music.
He was a classic.
The best is yet to come, and babe, won't that be fine?
Anthony Dominic Benedetto was born on August 3rd, 1926 in Queens, New York.
This is my street right here that I grew up on.
His father was an Italian immigrant who worked as a tailor. After his dad died, his mother supported the family by working as a seamstress. As a kid, Bennett liked graphic arts and went on to the High School of Industrial Art in Manhattan. After graduating, he went to Europe, serving in the U.S. Army during the final months of World War II. Later, after attending a school for the performing arts, Bennett struggled and supported himself by working as an elevator operator. His first big break came when he won a spot to compete on the network TV show Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scouts. He finished second, but he and winner Rosemary Clooney would go on to perform together. The show landed him another gig at a nightclub where famous comedian Bob Hope just happened to be in the audience. Hope invited Bennett on tour, and at the comedian's urging, he formally changed his name to Tony Bennett. In 1950, he was signed to Columbia Records, and the hits soon followed. Because of You was released in 1951 and stayed #1 on the charts for 8 weeks. A few years later, he came out with There'll Be No Teardrops Tonight and Cinnamon Sinner. Bennett began the 60s in a slump, but in 1962 he came out with the legendary hit I Left My Heart in San Francisco.
In San Francisco.
The song earned him 2 Grammys, and he later presented his gold record to the city of San Francisco. The late 60s brought a shift toward young rock and roll bands. Columbia Records urged Bennett to change his style. In 1971, Bennett left the label and fell on hard times. Almost a decade later, his son Danny became his manager. Danny convinced his father to re-sign with Columbia. And in 1986, Bennett came out with The Art of Excellence, his first new release in 9 years. Bennett was back and producing hits once again. Younger audiences were discovering his work, and at age 68, he appeared on MTV's Unplugged. Among his other achievements, Bennett is also an accomplished painter with work selling for tens of thousands of dollars. But he's most well known for his voice. In 2001, he was given a Lifetime Achievement Award. He released several duet albums singing with artists such as Bono and Barbra Streisand, plus Lady Gaga. The two would go on to work together on several projects, including a Grammy-winning album, Cheek to Cheek. In February 2021, we learned Bennett was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease in 2016, but still, he continued touring and recording music, including another album with Gaga. He announced his retirement in August of 2021. At the 2022 Grammy Awards, Lady Gaga performed a moving tribute to her friend and longtime collaborator, which Bennett introduced virtually. Tony Bennett, a legend who simply left us wanting more.
Will shine for me.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Coming up next, we have your weekend forecast. Plus,
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Good evening and happy Friday. It's been a pretty active week overall. We were watching some spotty activity today, and then just looking at even the last 5 days when it comes to precipitation totals, we've had nearly measurable precipitation every day, except for Monday. They're only seeing a trace. However, that still brings that 5-day total to 1.5 inches. And we'll note that if you are looking for some drier days, those are finally ahead. We're watching this system continue to drape its way out of the area, keeping us under a west-northwesterly wind, allowing for some comfortable overnight lows into those upper 50s and lower 60s. And then the weekend is going to set up to be a gorgeous one. So if you have outdoor plans, and if you don't, you want to make some, because we're going to have seasonal sunshine around. Shouldn't be too sticky. Winds are going to be fairly light. And we'll talk about some warming ahead that's going to make getting outdoors definitely a bit more of that summertime stickiness feel. Now, early next week, we will be watching a passing system that will bring back some showers and thunderstorms, but not going to take over the whole week like we were seeing this week with daily chances on the board. What we will see is we'll have that passing system, and then that passing system is going to usher us underneath a nice strong southerly flow that is going to bring us to some of those hot, sunny conditions by about Wednesday, where we could see highs into those 90s, and that could be paired up with some of that summertime humidity. So get out and enjoy a gorgeous weekend. 81 for our high tomorrow. A west-northwesterly wind continues to stay nice and light. Not too much for any heat indices there, as we will see that sunshine area-wide. Maybe a few passing clouds, can't rule those out, but for the most part, generally a pretty nice day in store for the area. area. We head into that Sunday forecast, noting that we continue times of that sunshine. Now, note that with clear and calm skies through the overnight, that is going to allow for, as our area is typical to seeing, that patchy fog development. So with lows down to about 56 degrees, could be open window weather. Those afternoons definitely still a little warm at times, but manageable for our area. So you can get a nice cool breeze from Sunday morning, and then by Sunday afternoon, you may want to close the windows and turn that air conditioning back on, because we see the high pressure system is going to center over the area, which gives us some brighter skies and high temperatures seasonable, maybe a touch warmer depending on that wind switch and pump that we get from that southerly return. Now, we do note that that southerly turn is going to allow for dew points to climb as well. So again, not too sticky over the weekend. By Monday into Wednesday, we start to see dew points climb. Now, one thing to note is that early in the week with those dew points climbing, it will be associated with some shower and thunderstorm chances. But then by about Wednesday, that's going to be when we have generally dry conditions, and with high temperatures nudging towards those 90s, that could then allow for the potential of talking on heat and humidity concerns. And then by next weekend, our last weekend of July, we could be talking about more of that thunder risk in place.